Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Parsley channel. I'm Tom, and just like Parsley, we get into a little bit of everything. So let's see what we get into today. Today, I'm in my camper. So this is my 1994 Winnebago Brave 29 RQ. So it's 29 feet long. It's considered a Class A motorhome. And today, it's starting to get cold out. Winter's starting to set in. So I figured today is a good day to winterize the camper, at least the freshwater system, to get water out of the system. And why you have to do that is because water is a weird thing. Water is a weird molecule. It expands when it's frozen, when it gets cold. It also expands when it's heated. So water's kind of weird like that. But anyway, if there's any water left in the lines, you just heard the water heater go off. If there's any water left in the lines, it will expand as it freezes. It'll expand and then burst the lines, and then you have a big mess in the spring. So best thing to do now is to clear out all the lines, get all the water out of the lines. I do it a little bit different than other people do. So we'll just kind of go into what we're going to be doing. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come along with me and let's do some work in the camper. Today we're only going to winterize the water lines, and I'll show you everything else I did to get it ready to winterize. Okay, come on. So it's also raining a little bit. That's why you could hear a little pitter-patter on the roof, which I think is really relaxing. So anyway, in a typical Class A motorhome, here's my little light. You've got, at least in this model, this is a 94 Winnebago Brave, we've got all the plumbing system down under here. So it's a 50-gallon freshwater tank, and you might notice, well, why do I have that over there? That's because when I got it, there was the water tank was a little dirty, so I needed to get in there and clean out some of the dirt that was in there. So I just installed one of those boat maintenance hatches. And then I also, you notice, there's the water pump right there, and right over here is a little expansion tank. And we've got low water drain valves right over here. And behind the tank is the drain valve for the water tank. This is drinking water. And in the spring, I'll show you what we do to sanitize the line. So let me get some valves open, and let me show you the other two drain valves for this particular model, and then we'll continue. All right, and there's the other low point drain valves right over there. There's two of them right there. These are just one-way valves because you can see the hose is connected over there. So these are just another set of drain valves. So it's really important to find out where your drain valves are in your particular rig. They're all in different places, but for this particular one, there's two under the bed, and there's two right over here. All right, here we go. All right, so you can see here that is the water line, the drinking water tank draining. Oh, focus on my finger. And then the other two drain lines are up over there, and then the other drain lines are up a little further forward. So, okay, so drinking water tank is draining. I didn't have it full, but it's going to take a little while to drain. So come back when it's drained. So the other thing we need to make sure that we drain is the hot water tank. So this is the hot water tank, and this particular model only has a drain plug. This is a, what is this one? I think this is a Suburban. I don't remember, but one of the two, I'll put it down in the description below. One of them has an anode rod. This doesn't need an anode rod. It's just the drain plug. So let me take that drain plug out, and then I'll come back and you'll see all the water coming out. All right, so let's take that out, and just so you know, I'm not kidding, you'll see all the water come flying out and just move it. There it goes. And there it goes. So we've got about 6 gallons total in a typical RV hot water heater. And we'll just let that drain, and I'll leave the plug out, but don't forget to put that plug back in the spring, or else you're going to have a flood. Okay, next step, drain valves are all open. The low point drain valve under the kitchen sink is open. The drain valve under the bed is open. I put the plug back in the water heater because it's going to drain out, and it's ready for the next step too. So we turn on the water pump, and all the faucets are open, and water pump is going to flow and get all of the water out. Get all the water out of the water pump, because that's the most important. And any water left in the water pump will freeze, expand, and boom, there goes your water pump. So the water is going to come through all the faucets. I got the bathroom sink open. I got the shower sink open. I got the kitchen sink open. And then I'm going to go outside and open the outdoor shower. and then I'm gonna flush the toilet. So let me go outside. Right, so here's the outdoor shower. I'm gonna open these. Okay, hot water's open, cold water's open, water pump's on. A little bit of water just popped out, and underneath, let's see what we got here. Okay, a little water coming out of the drain. Still drained, still the drinking water still coming out. Drain over there, drain over there. So far, so good. All right, so now we're ready for almost the final step where we blow out the water lines. So I told you, I do things a little bit different. So a lot of people pump antifreeze into the lines, and that's okay, but that uses a lot of antifreeze. I don't like to do it. I like to do it this way by just blowing air into the lines using an air compressor. So let me flip you around and let me show you the setup here before the air compressor turns on, because it's really loud. So hold on a second. So here's the air compressor with the hose, and then you have to get a special fitting to go into your water inlet. This is a quick disconnect because there's a quick disconnect over there. I'm going to connect it, and then we'll hear the compressor turn on because it's going to be forcing air into the system. Ooh, you hear that? And I keep it at about 30, between 30 and 50 PSI. So the compressor is going to kick on pretty soon. As soon as the compressor kicks on, I'll turn off because it's going to get really loud. Oh, all right, so what I'm going to do while that is pushing air into the system, you can still hear the compressor on the other side. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start slowly turning off every faucet to leave the drain valves, the low drain valves open last to force out all the water that are in the lines. And then I'll shut everything down, make sure there's no water in the system at all. So let me go ahead and do that now while the compressor's on. Okay, so air compressor's off, air is through the line. What I did is I cycled it a couple of times, shut all the valves off, let the pressure build, turn the valves on, shut them off, let the pressure build, turn it on, turn it off for maybe about 10 minutes or so. Make sure all the water is out. And I'm pretty confident all the water is out of the line. I run the water pump for a little while. I'm pretty confident that all the water is out of the water pump. And what I'm going to do for storage is I'm going to leave the kitchen sink valves open and the bathroom valves open to provide a little vacuum release. And I'm going to leave the low point drains open. So just in case there's any water in the system at all, it'll slowly find its way out of these low point drains and drain out, and it won't just sit in the pipes to freeze. Then the last thing I do is I put some RV antifreeze, the pink stuff, down into the sink trap. So there's 2 drains in the kitchen sink, so to kind of put in the P-trap, you know, that little thing that looks like a P under the kitchen sink. Put a little antifreeze in there. Put some down the bathroom sink, same thing in the P-trap. Put some down the shower drain, same thing. And then put a little bit in the toilet bowl to kind of seal the toilet bowl and keep the rubber seals kind of pliable. And that's pretty much it for winterizing. Now, your camper, whatever kind of camper you have, is essentially the same deal. You just have to find out where your low point drains are in your particular camper. In my camper, they're under the kitchen sink and under the bed, and the water tank drain valve is also under the bed. So make sure all those are open. So let me finish all this, put the antifreeze in the sinks and everything, and we'll come back and wrap everything up. So, and that's it. That's it. Oh, that's how we winterize this camper for the winter. All the water's out of the drinking water lines. The dump tanks, the black tanks are drained. I drained them at my last camp out. So there's no water, as far as I know, there's no water left behind anywhere in here. So some of the other things I do, because this is a motorhome, I have an engine, so I leave it plugged in. I have a plug right over here. I leave it plugged in. I leave the fridge on because I have condiments and some drinks in there that I just leave in there. No need to unplug it, works fine. And I also have a battery tender charger on the motorhome starting battery, because tends to, as it sits, it just tends to go bad. And there's a trickle charger already in-house to keep the coach batteries, you know, for the lights and everything charged up. And that's pretty much it. I will put a few mouse traps out because they're getting in here. I don't know if I left the door open by accident, but there was 2 or 3 little, let's see, I caught 2. So there might be one more running around. I got to set up some traps in here to take care of them. And that's pretty much it. It's ready for the spring. In the spring, we kind of do the opposite. we'll do another video in the spring to show you how to disinfect the water lines and get it ready for the camping season. Usually I do camp in the winter, but this season decided not to, and we're just going to put it to bed, put it to sleep, and see you in the spring. So, okay, so thank you for joining us on, I'm Tom, this is the Tom Parsley channel, and just like Parsley, we get into a little bit of everything. So thank you for coming along on the journey, and don't forget those 3 things. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.